So before I started my project, I went to go get Quiznos, and I noticed the sound is not as loud. I can still hear it, but it's not as loud without the lid of my box. I didn't put it back on because it was a quick Quiznos run, so I decided not to put it back on yet. It's only for heat soak, so it doesn't really matter, so we'll see. Hopefully with the plexiglass it restores the loss of sound, because I really like the sound of that. It's not too low, I can still hear it, but it's not as loud as it used to be. So we'll see. Hopefully I didn't jack everything up. I'll probably end up putting like double stick tape on the edges. Hopefully I have some at home, just to reduce any kind of rattling on the plexiglass against the metal. Since I'm gonna place it right above the plexiglass, it's gonna be right on top of the metal, and we'll see. I'll show you some pictures of that and a video of that once I get home and start working on it after I eat. Alright, so I saw this whole thing about using plexiglass to cover up your Cobb intake, except mine doesn't screw in from the top, it screws in from the side. We got these brackets right there, there. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Dremel and cut that out, and then just lay the plexiglass on top and then screw it in on the edges. We'll see if that works. If not, I ruined the top piece of my Cobb intake box. So slowly but surely I'm thinking I'm using the wrong bit. No, it is making a groove, but I'll probably have to do another pass in order to break the metal. It's not too thick, but it hasn't even made a dent over here. We'll see. So I'm sure if I had a grinder I could probably do this a lot faster. This actually is a little hard. Alright, so I got really impatient because this thing was taking forever. That Dremel was getting pretty hot on my hands, so I busted out the jigsaw, not the jigsaw, but the replicating saw, and it actually went really fast. So now I'm gonna have to make a little hole right here so I can start the other end. I'll just do it this way with the reciprocating saw. Yeah, so the reciprocating saw way faster and cleaner cut. Actually, I have a jigsaw that I just bought, but I don't have any metal blades, so that's why I'm using the reciprocating saw. Kind of difficult to use because it's so big, but it's getting the job done. I'm just cutting the edges to get. I'm cutting a little bit with the Dremel just to get the blade through it, and then just straight cut. Great. I opened up my brand new jigsaw and I found out that it includes blades, so it does have a metal blade. I could have avoided the hassle of using the reciprocating saw, because now I have, where did it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. Now I have a fucking, Frankenstein cut out. Well, I'll try to sand it down and smooth out the edges, but I still need to cut some more. But I made the little pilot hole to start off the cut. One right there, one right there. Hopefully I get this cut in the next 10 hours. Yes, so much faster and cleaner cut. Now I just gotta sand it down because that shit's horrible right here. Alright, so I marked out my plexiglass. It's gonna go overlap. Maybe right here it's gonna end. It's gonna be a very edge, from the very edge to the very edge. There's a little lip right here, but I think I could sand that off there. I cut the plexiglass. Okay, so I got the plexiglass cut. I used a 60 teeth on my circular saw. At first I used my jigsaw with the metal blade. It melted the plastic, so don't do that. And then I used the wood blade, which has more or less teeth. Did an okay job, but I still needed some edges to be cut straighter, so I used my circular saw, 60 teeth, because it has more. I didn't want to go with the 40 tooth one right here, so I went with 60 teeth. Gave me a really nice cut. So all this is not, it's just plastic, so once I lift that up it'll be clear. I gotta paint the bottom, I gotta paint the metal black, still gotta sand a couple edges, but letting my Dremel charge up because it took a lot of battery out when I was trying to cut it with the Dremel. So now I'm just charging it up so I could sand it or polish this down, like right here. Here's the old plate. Almost hardware store to go get some paint, spray paint, so I could paint up that black intake cap that I cut out. I realized, hey, I should look at the temperature of my intake and see if it makes a difference. So actually 122 was my highest. I'm running at 102 right now, but I just started up my car. I just got back from the hardware store, so we'll see. Maybe I'll ask you guys if you guys have a different temperature on your WRX on your intake, and compare it to what the plexiglass that I'm going to install. I decided not to put sealant around the plexiglass because it's probably going to look nasty, so I'm just going to try to drill it down. I forgot to buy some screws, so I'll probably have to do another run to the hardware store because I need to get some grommets, some plastic grommets or rubber grommets to screw down those plexiglass to the metal. But we'll see after when I get to that. So I'm using this high heat matte black on this metal piece right here, just to match up the other ones. I wasn't able to get the edges really good because I ran out of time before the wife wanted a break from the child. So now I gotta go inside and take care of the baby. I'll be back to fix this project up. I don't think I'll be able to sand this out. It's taking too long with my little Dremel grinder, but hopefully the plexiglass covers that up and you won't even see it because it's all black down here, so you're really not gonna see it. I wouldn't know. So I went ahead and drilled these holes out. I forgot to get you guys the sizes of those drills, but it only matter if you guys are using the same screws that I am. I decided to go with these hex bolts. I think they might be a little bit too long. They're 30 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, 5x30. Not too thick, not too thin. I like them because they're gonna give a nice look like the OEM ones. I mean, not the OEM ones, but the Cobb ones. Hopefully I had enough space to put the nut in. I got some nylon or lock nuts. It's perfect. It goes right in. I have to shave off a little bit right here because it melted the plastic a little bit, but it'll go in just like it's going into the metal. Sanded it as well. I'm not sure if it looks more hazy, but here's the original one. I haven't taken off the film yet, so once I take off the film I'll see how it looks. I'm probably gonna do that right now because I'm pretty much done. I just didn't want to scratch it, but let's see. See if I can do it one-handed or I'm gonna have to get back. I might have. No, that's fine. Wish I could do this with one hand or two hands. But you guys get the point. Take off the film on both sides and it'll be clear. But I'll show you guys right now. So there it is, all clear. Film's off. I'm not sure if you guys could see this. Let me see. Come on, focus. Okay, well it's clear that I did two edges from the factory plexiglass, and then I cut 2 of the other edges. The 2 other edges I used someone's recommendation about using 120 sandpaper. Maybe I'm using the wrong sandpaper. I am using 220. 210 or 220, but it's very fine. But it didn't seem to take off the haziness. It made it smooth, but it didn't take off the haziness off it. It's still, I could live with it, because I think I'm going to use the factory edges to face the front of the box. I believe the front of the box is like this, so I have a nice clean edge from factory. So gotta put the screws on and mount the whole thing back. Okay, so ran into a problem. 530 cap screws are not the same as a 5.8 nuts. It went in partially, but it doesn't go in all the way. I'm gonna keep forcing it, because I know it's nylon washers, but they're not that tough to go in. I'll try to force it in a little bit more, but I won't try too much. Anyways, they're a little bit too long anyway, so I might go. They didn't have 5x20, so I'll try to go and see if they have it at a different store, or I'll try to measure this and just see how much I really need. But that's too long anyways, because I went with the thicker glass. I didn't know, or the thicker plexiglass. I didn't know how long I needed the screw, and I didn't measure. I just went in one night and bought it randomly. So I should be finishing this off today, hopefully. Yep, I was wrong. As soon as I started torquing it down with the tool, I actually did go through. I had it's because it's nylon. It felt a little rough, but actually now it's going in smoothly. Also, I'm impatient, so I'm not gonna go and get a smaller screw. I might do it later on, but I just want to get this installed already. So 30 millimeters, too big. Probably a 20 millimeters you'll need. Alright, I'm so impatient. I'm over here scraping off the edges with a butter knife, because I had all this leftover residue, melted plexiglass right there on the edges, so I use a butter knife to scrape that off. I think I might have scratched the surface of this. I'm gonna have to clean it to see if I did scratch it. And I got impatient, so I got my impact drill, not even a regular drill. Put a socket on it. Use the key to drill this on. So impatient. So this is the leftover screws. I don't think it's gonna bother me. And on top of that, I forgot one. I got the screw somewhere here, there, an extra screw, but I didn't get the lock nut for that. So I'm gonna remain with 3 screws holding this down, which is very solid anyways, but for now I'm just gonna leave it with 3. Here it is, guys. Completed. A little rough around the center, all these spots right here. Like I said, I had limited time to do this, but I don't think you'll see it when I install it in the car. I think I'm gonna go right now outside and install it. It shouldn't take that long. It's only a couple screws. I think I lost some too, so I'm gonna buy some more of those to screw into the sides. You guys might not have this issue because you guys screw in from the top, but mine screw in from the side right here, right there, 4 screws. But pretty long install because I had distractions, but I'm sure if I didn't have any distractions, the right tools, I would have done it in 30 minutes, but no, it took me like a couple hours now to finish this. Great. My screws are preventing me from dropping this down more because it's hitting the duck bill, whatever this thing's called. So I do have to, I'm gonna just have to cut this off. I don't want to go buy more, which I am going to, but right now for this install, this is how it looks. It'll probably look better with the red filter, but this is the one that Cobb got me. So impatient me, I just, instead of cutting the screw off, I actually forced it down, pushed this back a little bit, forced it down. There's a little gap right there. I don't mind. Seems like the screws are gonna line up. Alright, so all done. Put the screws back in. Missing one over here in the back, and missing one over here. So I'll buy those later. But good fit. Just a little excess plastic left over from that film, but I'll take that off. Overall, I like it. 10 extra horsepower here, and once I find my Cobb sticker, I'll put it right here, and that'll give me an extra 10 horsepower. Total of 20 horsepower for this mod.